Today we're driving the 2025 Sierra 2500 Denali Ultimate. This has a $92,800 starting price. As spec'd with the max trailering package, this is $96,830. A lot of truck, but a lot of money. We have a 6.6 liter Duramax Turbo-Diesel engine, which you can hear there in the background. That makes 470 horsepower and 975 pound-feet of torque. We have a 2-speed transfer case, 2 high, 4 auto, 4 high, and 4 low. Off-road modes, lots of towing, trailering, and payload capacity here. This can tow 20,000 pounds with a traditional trailer or 21,600 with a gooseneck. And you can see right down there, it's equipped to handle that. Got this multiple folding tailgate, which is very sticky in the cold weather today. There you go. I was thinking it might even have a power option, but that does not seem to be the case. There we go. You even get a kicker sound system there. You can connect via USB or an aux port. Nice factory bed liner. Got a handle right here to help yourself get up in there, as well as this pole. 400 watt, 120 volt outlet back here as well. Nice bed lights. Let's fold all this back together here. You can remotely lower the tailgate, just a double press on the remote. It is not a powered tailgate though, so you do have to lift it up manually, but it is nice and light. We have 275/65R 20-inch Goodyear Wrangler tires on this GMC Sierra. Not as much grip on these in the conditions that we have today as we had on the KO3s on the Trail Boss a few weeks ago. Overall though, pretty good looking truck in my opinion. I'm kind of surprised that this doesn't have Super Cruise, given the price point. Max payload on this is 3,359 pounds. Let's take a look at the back seat. Powered running boards, lots of space back here. Some secret storage compartments too. GM loves their secret storage compartments. Who doesn't? I mean, nice interior materials. I like the open pore wood, the seat piping, the leather, everything feels nice. Tons of space back here, as you would expect. We do get a 12-speaker Bose premium sound system here. All right, let's take a look at this 6.6 liter Duramax Turbo-Diesel. Really smooth engine for a diesel. No weird smells, no weird hiccups with the Allison 10-speed automatic. It drives awesome, and there is just endless amounts of torque. It tows, it hauls, it does it all. You're paying a premium in terms of price, but boy, it is a beast. And even though this truck is massive, it doesn't drive as big as you would think on the road. It is a little bit stiff, but it needs to be to handle that payload and towing capability. All right, let's take a look at this interior. So we get wireless Apple CarPlay. Thank you, GM, for keeping that. Heated, ventilated seats. We have massaging seat controls over here, down by your seat adjustment knobs. Always nice to have. Column shifter. Always like a column shifter, except that it does block a significant portion of the screen right here, which is a bit awkward. Nice looking cameras though, and you can enable these cameras at speed and keep them enabled. I'm not sure if that's even legal, but you can do it. Pretty cool. Maybe because of the weight of this thing and the fact that you want to pay attention to your trailers and have blind spot capabilities. Not sure. Wireless CarPlay connects very quickly, very easily. You've got lane keep assist, a diesel exhaust brake, a button to lower your tailgate right there, trailer brake controls, and kind of a mishmash of storage compartments here. Here's a place to wirelessly charge your phone, a couple USB ports, and just a traditional plug socket right there. Some more storage behind here, and there's your glove box. Nice looking suede headliner. There's your sunroof. There you go. Visors slide, and of course we get a digital rear view mirror. All the controls in here are physical, pretty straightforward, pretty easy to use, no complaints. We're going to be driving in 4-wheel drive auto today just because it is a little bit slippery out with the conditions on the road. Put in drive and head out. Got my heated steering wheel enabled. The brakes in this don't give me the most confidence. Kind of had a similar experience in the Silverado 2500 Trail Boss too. Tons of power, tons of torque here. To drive, this is a fantastic diesel powertrain. A little bit loud and clattery on cold start, but once it gets some temperature in it, it is just nice and smooth. Sounds good too. We do have some adjustability here with our gauges. You can see our speed, drive summary. You can see over the last 672 miles, this has averaged 13.5 mpg. And one reason why this truck might be so stiff is because the tire pressures are 62 in the front and 81 in the rear. Wow. Oil life, DEF, brake pad life. Yep, you can change your display layout too. Steering is light, direct. It handles like a big truck. Wouldn't really expect anything else. It is bouncy. I like to think that I have a pretty low body fat percentage. I'm a relatively skinny guy, but things are jiggling around in this GMC Sierra this week. Can't help it. It is firm, it is bouncy in this truck. Despite all the luxurious amenities, the ride is very stiff. We do get adaptive cruise control, but for $96,000, almost $97,000, where's my Super Cruise? Nothing really new there with the gauge cluster layout. Adaptive cruise control works well enough. You've got 3 following distance settings that you can change. And Nissan Versa going dangerously slow here. This truck is fast. You can really creep up on some higher speeds in this thing without realizing it. And again, brakes do not give me a lot of confidence. I'm sure they have enough bite and enough power, but the pedal is a little bit squishy, and they're just, you really have to get deep into the pedal to get any significant bite out of them. ABS seems to kick in pretty early too, though that could just be the high tire pressures not putting traction down as well as they should. You've got manual gear control here on your column shifter, and it's blocking a bunch of stuff here on my infotainment, but I guess you could just kind of look over it. We have a secondary display over here to the right, control music, see Google Maps. Of course, this is the Android-based infotainment here, shared with a lot of GM products. It's responsive, it seems to be well developed, haven't had any bugs with it this week. Probably requires some subscriptions, but if you're already spending 96 grand on this, do you care? Maybe not. Good power there off the line. Only to be bested by an Accord who might get a speeding ticket right there. That's usually where cops sit. Four-wheel drive auto puts its power down well. And let's see. We really pretty much only have 2 drive modes. Off-road and normal. And then, of course, tow haul. Which will keep our revs up a little bit higher. There's so much torque here, this diesel pretty much doesn't need to rev past 3,000 RPM. So smooth, so quiet. I do like these mirrors. They don't impede your visibility that badly. And the lower wide angle element, even though it's manually adjustable, not automatically adjustable, is really useful in really showing your blind spots. Driving position is good. I have really good visibility down on the sides, forward, in the back with this digital rearview mirror. No major blind spots in this Sierra 2500. I do wish we got a mechanically adjustable steering wheel that is manually adjustable. Seats are comfortable. Head-up display controls are right here, easy to access. There you go, pretty clever there. Change the height, the brightness. Very little wind and road noise at speed on the highway. 75 miles an hour. This is a very, very comfortable place to be. Let's go in and test this Bose sound system. We get volume and track selection controls behind the steering wheel. Bose is alright. For the money, it's not great. Honestly, the Bose Premium Audio in my Camaro SS1 LE sounds a lot better than it does in this Denali. Smooth downshifts there with a good amount of decel in low gear, manual control. Flips back into drive very easily. And there's 60. What about the diesel exhaust brake? That's pretty good. That's a lot of deceleration. Well, aside from some nicer trimming in the interior, I'm not sure I'm really seeing the value proposition here. It'd be nice if we could get Super Cruise standard, a few more features, slightly nicer audio system, maybe a powered tailgate, power adjustable steering column for 97 grand. I wouldn't mind a little bit more for my money, more bang for the buck. Granted, this is incredibly capable, and if you're using it as a work truck / luxury barge, you know you need something like this, but it's kind of too stiff to be comfortable as a commuter, unladen. So you better be hauling stuff with this. You better be putting it to work. I guess if you're driving cross country, it is nice to have some of the extra stuff here. Again, I have no need for a truck like this. It's not really my thing, but I'm sure those who do, this is probably one of the ultimate options out there. The powertrain is insanely capable. Getting pretty heavily into ABS there. I just love the torque of a diesel. Easy to use too. All the switchgear in here is very intuitive. You can pretty much access anything you want at a moment's notice. I think luxury manufacturers should really take notes from what the Americans are doing with their trucks. Physical controls, well appointed. In many ways, I really respect the American manufacturers for not screenifying everything, specifically Chevrolet. Ford's been a little bit guilty of that recently, and I'm not a really big fan of Stellantis's big tablet screen. All right, so pros and cons. Pros, easy to see out of, easy to drive, easy to live with, tons of power, tons of capability. Cons, it's expensive. Wouldn't mind a few more features. We've talked about that at length already in this video. But overall, I think if you need something like this, you know you do. It's probably worth another 14 grand over the Trail Boss. The Trail Boss was $82,000, and the interior felt pretty Spartan, felt pretty cheap. There was a lot of plastics going on. And I know you're paying for the powertrain, but if you're spending that much money, you might as well have some nice interior appointments. All right, we'll park this, walk you guys around it one more time, and that'll be a wrap. There is an option to keep the running boards down all the time, but there isn't an option to extend that time that the running boards stay down. So if you're going to be coming in and out of the vehicle, opening front doors, back doors, those running boards are always going to be coming up and down. All right, guys, that's going to be it for me. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.